Good morning everyone, welcome back to our channel. So today we're going to discuss on government land sale. So what is government land sale?
So government land sale, or GLS in short, is basically when developers bid for the land that our government put up for sale to build properties. So it could be for private condos, commercial or even industrial properties. But over here, let's zoom into the private condos because it could affect you and me, especially if you are looking to buy something. And even if you are not looking to buy, right, even if you are holding on to an existing property, an upcoming new launch near you might affect the prices and demands in your area. So let's dive deeper and maybe let's talk about the 3 reasons why GLS is so important to us first.
Alright, so firstly, what is important because it actually gives us a glimpse of the new launch supply, and GLS actually tells us exactly where the next condo is going to be at. And the launch date usually happens within 12 to 15 months after the land is being sold.
Yeah.
Right, and it usually takes around another 3 to 4 years where it will achieve its TOP, and that's also where you can collect your keys.
Correct.
Okay, so GLS also helps us to forecast the upcoming supply of units, and it happens twice a year, and each time a set of number of land plots are usually put up for sale. Taking into account with the plot ratio, we are actually able to tell if the upcoming supply goes up or down, right? So knowing all this actually helps with the planning of your property moves.
So secondly, it also gives us a sense of the market confidence, and what we look out for is a few things here. Number 1, how many developers have bidded for this particular piece of land? Because usually more bidders means that, developers are having a bit more confidence. And secondly, who have bidded? Have the market leaders placed their bids, and a developer with a nearby project bid again? So when these kind of things happen, it generally means that developers are again very confident in a certain area, right? And lastly, the price gap between the top 2 bids also tell a very big story. A small gap means that the price is very competitive, while a larger gap may mean that the winner is much more confident in the area, or perhaps they are looking for something called the first mover advantage or aim to expand their presence in a certain area.
Yeah, that's right. And thirdly, and the most importantly, is also it allows us to gauge the future prices. Now, land price actually makes up the biggest part of the development cost, and having transparency on the land price taken into account with the plot ratio actually allows us to gauge the estimated launch price using certain metrics and of course a markup forecast. This is crucial in our planning as actual sale price are only released on the booking day itself when you have to decide. So having an understanding of the future prices is also very important whether or not we are making a property move.
That's right. So now having understood what is government land sale and why does land price mean so much, right? How do we apply it to our current market situation? What are we seeing from the news? Let's break it down.
So let me share. So these are some of the projects that happened last year. We can see that in the core central region, Sky at Holland was 99% sold on the first day at an average price of $2,953. Rest of central region, which is Penreef, 97% sold, average price at 2,800 PSF. And of course, outside central region, Faber, average price 2,160. But more importantly, what I want to emphasize on is taking a look at all the land price that was actually bought by the developer, right? So 1,002 sold 2009, 1,001 sold 2008, and 900 sold 2001. Okay?
So generally, we can see that the further away you are from the central region, the expected land price and hence launch price is lower, right? And of course, these are all past news. These are developments that have launched last year, which means that their land are bidded even earlier. So if we want to have a glimpse as to what's going to happen for the upcoming launches in terms of prices, we will be able to do so by looking at the more recent land bids that just happened perhaps late of last year or early this year. Because as we know, once the land is bidded, the launch will happen about 12 to 15 months later. So if you want to know later part this year, then we just go back 1 year and look at the news of the land bids, and that's what we are going to go through here. All right?
Okay, so we're going to share with you what is the outlook like in 6 months to even 1 year time. We can see that in the OCR region, what is actually happening is that places like Bayshore, which is already sold already, right? The developer bought at 1,003, 1,388. Hougang bought at 1,179. Bedok Rise bought at 1,003, and even Chuan Grove bought at 1,003. But more importantly, we want to show you this. Sky at Holland bought 1,285, sold 2,009. Now, if Bedok Rise buy 1,003, how much do they need to sell? How much will they sell? This 1,003 is even higher than Sky at Holland. Hougang 1179, this is even higher than our RCR and Penrith. So if Penrith buy 1,001, sell 2,008, how about Hougang moving forward? Buy 1,179, how much are they going to launch? Right, so this will be the OCR. In fact, the news has already came out that for Vela, which is at Bayshore, sold 72% on launch day at an average price of 2,008.
Land price was 1,388 PSF
Yeah,
PPR.
and Vela Bay, do you know where is it? It's at the OCR. Right, so OCR is already averaging at 2,008 already, and it's already happening. How about the RCR? RCR, we can see one thing. Tanjong Rhu bought 1,004. Dover just bought 1,005. Kallang bought 1,004. And even Danyan Road by 1,004. So we can see one thing very clearly. 1,004, how much are they going to sell next time?
Again, it is all higher than the past CCR prices already, all hitting new benchmark.
All right, so moving forward to the core central region. So the core central region is also going to set a new benchmark. Why? Because in the Newton area, the developer has already bought this land at 1,800 and there's 8 bidders. So how much do you think they need to sell? Buy 1,008, how much they sell?
At least 3.6 PSF.
Exactly, 3.6.
Yeah, at least.
Okay? So by understanding all these news articles, right, it's very important because it helps us to understand what is going to happen down the road, because it helps us to better position ourselves, especially if we are looking to buy a property already. Then all these are all the small indicators that you can pick up.
So this is what we call a leading indicator, right? And the next time you open a newspaper and you see news like that, the number actually means something more, as well as you can look out for factors like the number of bidders, price gap between the first and second bidder, the land price, how does it compare to past land bidder, and things like that. So let's put things into perspective as to where are we currently in the market, all charted out.
Okay, so for the orange color, it means in the core central region. Blue color represents the rest of central region, and the black color represents outside central region. Okay, so for the core central region, for Sky at Holland, the developer bought at 1,285. How much did they sold at?
2,953.
2,953. How about Zion Grand? They bought at 1,002, 1,003. How much did they sell?
About 3,000.
Yes, 3,050 averagely. Right? Even for Faber in the OCR, bought 900. They sold at 2,100.
Yeah.
So places like Penrith bought 1,001. They sold 2,008 averagely. River Green, they buy 1,003. Do you know how much they sell?
Close to 3,000 plus also.
Yes, 3,150, and River Modern was 3,250. In fact, where we are right now, we are still at the old price tag. We can see clearly one thing, that even for Nara, Pinery, Tengah, all these projects that just launched are still considered under the old price tag.
Yeah, because you can see that the land prices are still very similar. The black colors, right, which are the OCR projects, yeah, they are still all around the 900 to 1,000-ish PSF PPR range in terms of the land price. Okay, and then RCR, right, your Hudson, these blue color ones is ranging around 1,000 to 1,002. Okay, and of course the CCR, they are about the 1,200 to 1,400 range. So this is what we call the old price tag, in which even for these early this year launches, the land prices are still very similar to past year launch. So this is where we are in the market right now in terms of the progress of launches. Moving ahead, this is what we are going to see happen from the earlier news articles that we have seen just now, right? Where the OCR region, the prices are coming to a new benchmark of 1,300 PSF PPR range, right? And what does this mean? This 1,300 PSF PPR is a good 30% higher than the current OCR price tags, right?
Yep.
Similarly, for the RCR, the blue ones, crossing the 1,400 to 1,500 range. Again, compared to the current RCR range, which is only up until 1,200 thereabouts, 30% wave, right? CCR as well, easily a 30-40% jump. So what we are seeing right ahead, what we are saying here is that there is a price wave ahead of us, and it's about a 30% difference. Okay?
So can we put it into perspective? For example, today if a client has a budget of 1.5 million, what can we buy? And moving forward, if we choose to wait 6 to 1 year time, what can we buy?
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the biggest thing that you can buy in the new launch market.
Maybe a 2-bed 2-bath in certain areas.
Yes, you can get a 2-bed 2-bath, a very decent 2-bed 2-bath. So if you choose to wait, the question is whether in 6 months' time will your budget increase significantly. So assuming it doesn't, right? Because 6 months is also not a very long time. With the same 1.5 million budget, what can we get once we're at the top of this wave? Perhaps we could still get a 2-bed 2-bath if the developer launch at a competitive price and you get a very good number, ballot number. Otherwise,
Maybe
2-bed
we
1
have
bath,
to buy a 2-bed 1-bath.
or even a 1+ study, even in the OCR or RCR region, because the launch prices will have already increased.
So then, some of y'all might think, then in this case, we try to wait for this. If we don't buy, then we look for resale, right?
Reasonable. I'm sure many people have similar plans as well. But if it's your plan B to look at resale, then we rather you start looking at resale now as well. Because where is resale in this picture? Resale definitely is cheaper, but once the new launch prices move, resale prices will
Move together.
move together as well. Maybe not as fast, but it will also trend upwards. So today with a 1.5 million budget in the resale market, what can we comfortably get?
Some areas we can still buy a 3-bed 2-bath, maybe in a newly MOPEC.
Yes.
Maybe still
possible.
a 2-bed 2-bath in a 2-bed 2-bath normal condo we still can buy.
Yes. So that is for today. If we again choose to wait until 6 months later, let's say everything, all the balloting are done, and then you come and look at the resale market again, what would be our options with the same 1.5 million budget? Perhaps
2-bed
you really
2-bath.
can only get a 2-bed 2-bath. So having the entire market scenario mapped out in front of us like this, right? Question is, where do you want to be? And where are the opportunities in the current market? Because right now we're at a very crucial point of time where there's a price wave in front of us.
So of course, if today you want to understand the market better and you want to restructure your portfolio, you want to consider buying a property in today's market, where's the opportunity at? Please feel free to reach out to us and we'll love to analyze for you and assist you.
Thank you. See you in the next
See
one.
you.